No matter what age your child is, you want the best for their future. What do they want to do after graduation? What career path do they want to take? These questions can be overwhelming. That's why you should ask them this question. What's your E? Seminole County Public Schools ePathway program is designed for your student to choose their own path in life from as many options as we can offer. Whether they're looking to enlist, enroll, or be employed, we're excited to help you and your child make it happen. Want them to enroll in a college or university? We'll help you find the best school for them to continue their education. Learn about grants and programs to help your child obtain their degree at a pace and a cost that works for you both. Are they looking to go straight into employment? Discover a variety of trades and skills that will propel their future. They can learn aviation maintenance, automotive repair, culinary arts, and more to hone their talents in growing industries. Is your child interested in enlistment? We'll help them find the right path of service, whether it's military, law enforcement, fire response, or EMS. They can serve the community while learning skills that will last a lifetime. What's your E? Explore options with ePathways by visiting us online at the link below.
What inspired me to get into engineering was Lego. So I started as a kid, as most kids do, working with Legos and just kind of doing your own thing, building the Lego sets, and I would often take apart my Lego sets, mix them together, and build something completely new. Then in about 4th grade, I was introduced to Lego robotics, which is where you have a actual robot that you could program, and you start with this brick, and that would feed information to Lego motors, and it would all communicate as a system, and you could do a lot of really cool robotic tasks with that. And that was really the start of me looking into engineering. The engineering I'm looking to pursue at first is mechanical engineering. This is what I'm going to go to UCF for, and this is going to be the start of my career. A mechanical engineer can really do anything. They work with a lot of thermodynamics and a lot of vibrations and really just anything that moves. So a lot of fields use mechanical engineering. I want to go past that and specialize into biomedical engineering, which is more along the lines of surgical robotics and medical machinery. I want to develop surgical robots, and with that I need to know exactly how the human body functions and how it functions with robotic systems. Essentially, I'll be able to design a system where a person will be able to communicate with a motor and hopefully improve their quality of life, whether this be through a surgical robot that a doctor is controlling or whether it's a prosthetic that's motorized.
I taught Josh his freshman year. He was so good with that inventor material. He picked up on it very quickly. He was ready to jump in and help other students, which I really, really appreciated. And he has carried those characteristics with him as he has moved through the program. And now with his journey moving forward in bioengineering, I can't wait to see what he's going to make with his knee brace and the orthotics that he's trying to produce.
The current prosthetic I'm looking at developing is a load-bearing knee brace in which I'm going to take a motor or servo and attach that to the knee, which will enable a person to be able to push past what their muscles currently are able to do, whether that be because of muscle fatigue or osteoarthritis in the kneecap where they're not able to put a lot of pressure on their knee. Current knee braces really only work when walking. There's still a lot of pain when there's extra forces being applied to the knee, such as walking upstairs or standing up from sitting down, things you and I normally don't think about. But for someone that has severe arthritis in their knee, this is hugely painful.
The strongest advantages of project-based learning, that hands-on experience that allows you to manipulate that material, really solidifies in the brain exactly how those things work.
The thing I would say about this program where it exceeds the most is the more you use it, the more it'll benefit you.
Member Good evening, everyone. I will reconvene the July 28th, 2026 school board meeting at 5:30 on the dot. This evening, I have the invocation and pledge. For the last few years, I have collaborated and studied with the Peace and Justice Institute. PJI's mission is to build communities of respect, and they have developed what are called principles of how we treat one another. There are 13 principles and a kid-friendly version as well. I'd like to share a few of the principles this evening as we begin a new school year and work to continue positive dialogue and respectful relationships throughout our community, with the students as our top priority. So first, create a hospitable and accountable community. Welcome others, be kind, and assume others will be kind to you. Listen deeply and intently to what is said, and strive to achieve a balance between listening and reflecting, speaking and acting. Practice asking honest and open questions. If you don't understand something, ask. Respect silence. When others begin to talk, let them finish and leave a moment of silence, showing them that you are listening. Suspend judgment and identify assumptions. Set aside your judgments and understand that our assumptions define our worldview. When we do this, we can open our viewpoints to greater possibilities. Speak your truth and turn to wonder when you disagree with someone. Ask yourself, I wonder why this person feels this way, or I wonder what my reaction teaches me. Finally, all voices have value. Respect everyone's ideas, even if they are different from yours. Be curious, and you may learn something new from the other person. I'm not saying it's easy, but we should all be trying, including myself. As we begin another school year, my prayer for all of us is that we can work together collaboratively, practice and model these principles, especially with our children, and remember that we are here to serve children, and everything else is secondary to that mission and vision. So if you would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. Let the record reflect that Member Krause, Member Davis, Member Sanchez, Vice Chair Garrick, and myself, Superintendent Beeman, Board Clerk Jill Moramus, and School Board Attorney Cole Palmer are here. Ms. Moramus, do we have any acknowledgement forms? Thank you very much. Superintendent, do you have any agenda modifications?
The addendum for good cause is marked on our electronic agenda as addendum item.
Thank you. The roll call for today is Member Krause, Member Davis, Member Sanchez, Vice Chair Garrick, and then myself. School board members, are there any agenda modifications? Member Krause?
No modifications, Chair. Thank you.
Member Davis? Thank you. Member Sanchez?
No modifications, thank you.
Member Garrick?
No modifications, thank you.
And I have no modifications. Is there a motion to approve the agenda outline?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you, Ms. Krause. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I think there were no opposed. The motion passes. Superintendent, do we have any presentations or recognitions?
Yes, we'll start with our athletic recognition, introduced by Dr. Connie Collins.
Good afternoon.
Congratulations to the Winter Springs High School Boys Water Polo Team. We are happy to announce and celebrate the 2026 Winter Springs High School Boys Water Polo Team on their FHSAA Class 1A Academic State Championship. These players and their coaches have worked extremely hard in the classroom to earn a team unweighted GPA of 3.755. And in the water, as they set a new school record for 8 season wins. Principal Pete Gaffney shared that not only are they amazing student athletes, they are an incredible team who has represented Winter Springs High School and Seminole County Public Schools in a manner that has always made us proud. Congratulations, Winter Springs Water Polo Team.
Good evening. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Christine Kirkwright as the new Director of Exceptional Student Education. Christine is grateful for this opportunity to continue working alongside her team as they partner with families and schools to support the success of every student. After earning her bachelor's degree in special education, Dr. Kirkwright began her career as a special education teacher. She later earned both a master's degree and a doctorate in educational leadership. Throughout her career, she has served in a variety of leadership roles, including staffing specialist, program specialist, area administrator, and IDEA compliance administrator, building a deep understanding of how to best support students, families, and schools. This marks her 28th year in education and her 20th year with Seminole County Public Schools. She is passionate about students with disabilities and a strong supporter of the educators who make a difference in their lives every day. Her connection extends beyond her professional role. She is also the proud parent of 2 SCPS graduates. Her son Quinn, a Seminole High School graduate, entering his 3rd year at the University of Florida, and her daughter Faith, a recent Lake Mary High School graduate, who will be attending Florida State University, which will make their family gatherings extremely interesting. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming Dr. Christine Kirkwright as our new director. Come on up, Mom. Also in the audience, you might have heard her ESE teammates.
It's all good? Good afternoon. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Connie Collins as Assistant Superintendent, Secondary Education, High School. Dr. Collins is a longtime educator with over 40 years of experience in education. She is proud to be a fourth-generation educator, following the footsteps of both parents, her grandfather, and her great-grandmother. Dr. Collins has a twin sister who is also an educator. Dr. Collins is a graduate of University of West Florida, where she received her bachelor's degree, and University of Central Florida, where she received both her master's and doctoral degrees. Dr. Collins is married to Ed Collins, and they are the proud parents of Dr. Candace Collins, who is an oncology pharmacist, and Michael Collins, a manager in the automotive sales industry. They are grandparents to Evan, Jada, Michaela, Michelle, Micah, and Miles. Her family are supporting her virtually and are excited as she begins this new chapter. Congratulations, Dr. Collins.
I have to move this up because I'm kind of tall. Sorry. Good evening. It's our pleasure to introduce the Longwood Police Department's newest school resource officer team, Officer Angus and K-9 partner Scout. Scout represents our exciting step forward in the continued partnership between the Longwood Police Department and Seminole County Public Schools and Seminole County Sheriff's Office. Together, Officer Angus and Scout will help support a safe, welcoming, and positive learning environment for students, teachers, staff, and families of Lyman High School. While Scout is highly trained law enforcement K-9, he is also an ambassador for community engagement. Beyond helping enhance campus security, Scout will provide opportunities to students to build positive relationships with our law enforcement through everyday interactions and educational outreach. His presence served as a reminder of our shared commitment to protecting our schools while fostering trust, connection, and a supportive school community. The City of Longwood and the Longwood Police Department are proud to partner with Seminole County Public Schools and the Seminole County Sheriff's Office in important initiative. Together, we remain committed to creating schools where students are focused on learning, growing, and succeeding in a safe and secure environment. Please join me in welcoming Officer Angus and Scout to the Seminole County School Safety family. We're excited to the positive impact this team will have on our school community.
And yes, Chair and board members, our FOSA presentation tonight is presented by Dr. Cody and Ms. Borowski, and it is on school and district accountability. They're providing an overview.
Thank you, Superintendent Beeman. Good evening, board members and Superintendent Beeman. Ms. Borowski, Coordinator of Assessment and Accountability, and I are pleased to provide a 2026 school and district grades update. It is with great pride that we report once again that the Florida Department of Education recognized Seminole County Public Schools as an A-rated, academically high-performing school district. Congratulations to everyone that's involved in this important work. This designation reflects the work of our amazing teachers, students, educators, and families. And thank you, board members, for your unwavering commitment to keeping students first in your decisions. It is important to not only improve our academic achievement each year, but to also compare our rankings among Central Florida districts, the 14 largest districts, and all 67 districts in the state. Again, we are very proud to report that SCPS is #1 in Central Florida, #1 in the 14 largest districts, and #11 out of all 67 districts. Outstanding work. We are so proud to share that 95% of our schools received an A or B grade for the 2026 accountability period. This compares to 76% of schools statewide who received an A or B grade. This is SCPS's best performance since 2011. This slide represents SCPS's scores by grading component for the past 3 years. In 2026, SCPS earned 851 points, which is 71% of the 1,200 possible points. Sarah will share with you during her part of the presentation why this is such an important metric. During each of the last 3 years, SCPS increased total points earned in 9 of the 12 cells and stayed consistent in math learning gains. The two highlighted areas, ELA, lower quartile learning gains, and math, lower quartile learning gains, are the only 2 cells that show a slight decline. However, for 26-27, our schools and district teams will work diligently to ensure improved student performance in the lower quartile learning gains. We are so proud of our focus schools. Each of these schools improved their overall points from 2025 to 2026. Spring Lake moved from a C to an A, and Sterling Park moved from a B to an A. Congratulations to all of our focus schools for their hard work. In addition, several of our schools celebrated school grade milestones. Bear Lake earned their first A since 2015. Crystal Lake earned their first A since 2019. Sterling Park, one of our focus schools, earned their first A since 2015, and Millwee Middle earned their first A since 2010. And Endeavor, our ESE Center School, earned for the first time in their history a commendable rating, the highest rating possible for an ESE Center School. In addition, Endeavor is ranked 6th in the state among all ESE Center Schools. Our rankings for ELA by grade level continue to be very strong in Central Florida and the 14 largest districts. State rankings fluctuated as they normally do, with grades 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10 in the top 10 in the state. Our math rankings are always more variable due to the accelerated math opportunities SCPS provides for our students. As a reminder, at the elementary level, our 5th grade students who are enrolled in RAMP take the 6th grade FAST math test, and more than half of our middle school students are enrolled in high school algebra or geometry courses and take end-of-course exams. I'll share those outcomes in an upcoming slide. Compared to 2025, our math rankings improved or remain the same in all but 2 categories among all comparisons. Our science rankings continue to be number 1 in Central Florida and the 14 largest districts, with the greatest improvement in biology, improving state ranking from number 27 to number 9 in 1 year. Focused work that we are so proud of. Social studies and math, and of course exams, continue to be strong in all 3 comparative categories. As I referenced earlier, let's take a look at our accelerated math students' achievement. As detailed on this slide, 38% of 5th graders were enrolled in our accelerated RAMP course, learning 6th grade math. 98% of these students passed the 6th grade math test. These are 5th graders. These data prove that these students deserve to be accelerated so that their learning continues. As many of you know, RAMP 5 students are not included in the grade 5 ranking data, and that's why our state ranking is not comparable to other districts. At the middle school level, 46% of our students were enrolled in Algebra 1, and 21% were enrolled in geometry. These students earned an Algebra 1 pass rate of 86%, and a geometry pass rate of 97%. We acknowledge that we have to work harder with our 8th grade pre-algebra students, and in fact, our pre-algebra students improved by 4 percentage points in 2026. Now let's look at the middle school acceleration cell, and that reflects points earned by passing high school level end-of-course assessments or earning approved industry certifications. Congratulations to our middle schools for improving each year since 2024 and becoming number 1. I know we're saying this a lot, right? Number 1 in Central Florida, number 1 in the 14 largest districts, and number 6 overall in Florida. Great work. Our advanced placement results are remarkable. Participation continues to grow substantially while maintaining strong pass rates. We saw an increase in students participating in AP courses and taking AP exams while maintaining a 73% pass rate overall. This pass rate mirrors the global rate and exceeds the Florida pass rate by 4 percentage points. So it's very important to understand that SCPS is committed to access and opportunity and embraces an open enrollment philosophy. We believe advanced coursework should not be reserved for a select few, and our data validates that when students are given opportunities and supported to meet high expectations, they succeed. AP Pre-Calculus is a relatively new AP offering. This year, 1,358 exams were administered, and our students earned an impressive 87% pass rate. Some thought our students couldn't handle that level of advanced math, but once again, students met and exceeded our high expectations. AP Seminar is a College Board AP capstone course that teaches students to investigate real-world issues, evaluate evidence, analyze multiple perspectives, and develop well-supported arguments. Students build critical thinking, research, collaboration, writing, and presentation skills through team projects, discussions, essays, and independent inquiry. AP Seminar is unique among AP courses because the final AP score comes from both projects and an exam, with a strong emphasis on research, writing, and presentation skills. And just a quick note, we've heard from many of our graduates that this course is one of the most important courses for success when they leave our schools, whether it's going on to college, into the workforce, into a service industry. It gives them real-world skills. My own grandson said it was the best thing that he took in high school. He's a sophomore now at FSU, even though I'm a Gator, but it's okay. I have adjusted. 570 of our students submitted the AP projects and took the AP seminar exam. Look at this, with a 98% pass rate. I mean, we could not be more proud. Dual enrollment continues to provide tremendous value for students and families. In 2025-26, more than 2,400 students participated in dual enrollment courses, primarily taking Seminole State courses, our wonderful partner, and generating approximately $2 million in tuition savings. Our students with disabilities showed growth at all levels in the majority of the accountability cells. ELA and math learning gains and lower quartile learning gains are, again, areas of opportunity for all of our students. We are so proud of our English language learners for once again being ranked #1 in Central Florida, #1 in the 14 largest school districts, and #2 in the state. And congratulations to our students for earning approximately $15 million in reported scholarships and Bright Future scholarships. This is a tremendous return on investment for our students, families, and community. Ms. Borowski will now share the increases in the 26-27 accountability model, as well as important information for our families. Sarah?
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Beeman. This slide provides an overview of the accountability grade model changes that will take effect for the 26-27 school year. Under State Board of Education Rule 6A-1.09981, the state grading scale is automatically adjusted when 75% or more of graded schools within a school type earn a grade of A or B. For the 25-26 school year, that threshold was exceeded across all school types, which means the grading scales for all of our schools in the district will move upward for 26-27. The key takeaway is that expectations are increasing. For example, the minimum percentage required for an A will rise to 65% for elementary and middle schools, and to 70% for high and combination schools. This means schools will need to earn a higher percentage of possible points to maintain the same letter grade. The fast progress monitoring window. Some of these states have just been updated. We had a state meeting last week, so we're going to go ahead and update some of these states going through. This slide summarizes the 3 fast progress monitoring windows for the school year for students in grades 3 through 10. PM1 is going to happen from August 31st through September 15th, and is designed to provide a beginning of the year baseline. This helps teachers understand where students are starting and begin tracking progress towards mastery of the best standards. PM2 occurs during the winter window. For elementary and high schools, the window is now going to be November 30th through December 18th. For middle schools, it is going to happen January 6th through January 15th. The PM2 provides a mid-year check on student progress and helps schools determine where instructional adjustments or additional supports may be needed. PM3, this happens from May 1st through May 30th. This is the summative assessment window and is the one used for school accountability. While PM1 and PM2 are informational, it's the PM3 in May that represents the accountability measure tied to end-of-year mastery that Dr. Cody had just gone through. It is also important to note that each school determines the exact testing dates within the state window. This gives schools the maximum flexibility to plan around instructional schedules and campus needs. Together, these three windows provide educators with timely information throughout the year to monitor student learning, adjust instruction, and support student success. Please note that students in VPK through grade 2 also participate in progress monitoring through the FAST STAR assessments. Their assessment window is a little bit different than the grades 3 through 10. PM1 happens August 17th through the 28th, PM2 November 30th through December 18th, and PM3 occurs April 19th through 30. These VPK grade 2 administrations provide early literacy, reading, and mathematics progress monitoring data to help teachers track growth and adjust instruction throughout the year. As families review student results, it is important to understand what these FAST scores can and cannot tell us during the early part of the school year. FAST is a computer adaptive assessment that measures the full breadth of the grade level standards. Because PM1 and PM2 occur before students have received a full year of instruction, these assessments provide an early snapshot of progress towards end-of-the-year expectations. As a result, it may not be uncommon that students may score below grade level during the fall or winter and still be on track for success by the end of the school year. For this reason, PM1 and PM2 results should be considered alongside classroom performance, teacher observations, and other measures of student learning. PM1 and PM2 results are intended to inform instruction, identify areas where additional support may be needed, and to help monitor student growth over time. Viewing our student results. This slide focuses on how families can access student results after testing. Student results are typically available in the Florida Department of Education's Family Portal within 24 to 48 hours after a student participates in the assessment. A more detailed report becomes available within a week after the assessment is administered. Families may access this DOE Family Portal through Skyward. The district provides Family Portal brochures in both English and Spanish to help families navigate the process. This slide shows what students and families can anticipate seeing once they are logged into the Family Portal. Families can view results by school year, going back to 2020, scale scores, achievement levels, percentiles, and detailed reports. These comprehensive reports provide families with more than a score by offering context about what the student demonstrated, where there may be areas for continued growth, and what resources may be available to support learning. And brand new, just announced last week, the Florida Department of Education's current plan is to provide Spanish individual student reports for all assessments in the Family Portal. This is targeted to take place with PM1 in August 2026. This translated content will be test-specific. That means it will include assessment names, achievement level descriptions, reporting categories, writing dimensions, and longitudinal tables. These translations will only apply to 26-27 assessments and beyond. This is an important step in improving family access and ensuring that more families can understand assessment results in a meaningful way. Clear access to student performance information supports stronger school-family partnerships and helps families engage more fully in conversations about student progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cody and Ms. Borowski. Any questions, board members?
I just want to thank all of you. Thank you for gathering the data for us. To our teachers, paraprofessionals, instructional coaches, SLPs, to the entire support of our students. Fabulous work. We're very proud. Thank you.
Member Davis?
Thank you so much.
I also want to thank everyone. This, of course, takes a village. This is not just something that's done by our students. So it really takes a lot of collaborative work with our students, their families, our parents, our teachers, our paras. I can go on and on. Honestly, I don't think many of you realize that we have over 46% of our students are on free and reduced lunch on top of that. And to see that they have made so much growth, and that our ESOL students that are taking a test in a language that they are not familiar with, that they're not native to, is something that is just unbelievable. I can't even imagine looking at a test or anything and not knowing what it says. So I commend everybody for everything they do day in and day out for that. And not just that, some of these kids may not have a home life that is like some of ours, and they may have only their stability that they get in the school day, their meals that they get during the day, and they may have to work 2 or 3 jobs at night, and they are still doing what they need to do to be the best humans they can possibly be. But it also takes the amazing people in this room, the amazing volunteers, our teachers, administrators, everyone. I don't want to leave anybody out, because our bus drivers, somebody's going to say I left something out. So I'm just going to say everyone, thank you, because it sure does take everyone. And we always could use school supplies for our families in need as well. Thank you again.
Thank you very much for sharing the data with us and giving it to us in a very digestible format. I know that your head is swimming with all of the possibilities of where we go from here. Again, I want to echo the sentiments of my colleagues for all of the adults that work with our students each and every day to build trusted relationships, because we know when a child when someone believes in a child, they believe in themselves, and success is bound to happen. And also I'd like to thank all of the administrators and leaders at the school level and at the county level for your vision and leadership. We've got work to do, but man, oh man, are we, as the superintendent said, excellence is not our destination, it's our starting point.
So thank you very much for the report. As I was listening and reading those screens, I was thinking how much opportunity parents have to know exactly how their kids are doing by logging into the portal and seeing all of the metrics, as to where they stand, and then also how helpful it is for teachers to, be able to pinpoint what students need. It's truly the progress monitoring part of it is really helpful for them. So thank you all very much, everyone that makes it happen. It's the kids, the teachers, their parents, all of the folks here that have led to the success of our students, and thank you very much. It is now time for public comment on agenda items. Vice Chair Garrick, would you please read the statement?
Sure. The purpose of the public participation segments of the board meeting is to allow the public to address matters within the board's jurisdiction and not to resolve individual grievances or disputes. School board meetings are limited public forums. Public comments related to education, the board agenda, and the district are welcome and encouraged. But public comment segments are not forums to engage in personal attacks against school system employees or board members. To maintain orderly conduct, the public comment segments of the meetings may not be used as open forums to discuss matters unrelated to education, to support or oppose candidates for public office, including presentation of political and/or campaign issues, announcing candidacy and/or campaigning, or to engage in commercial speech, attempting to sell a service or product to the board or the public. Nor are they forums to address matters involving disciplinary actions of any kind, pending claims, complaints, or litigation to which the board, the district, or district personnel is a party. Public comment segments durations are as follows. Propositions before the board limited to 3 minutes. One group representative speaking on a proposition, maximum of 6 minutes. Speaker must remain on topic of the proposition. Non-agenda items limited to 2 minutes. Speakers shall direct their comments only to the board and may not address the audience or other speakers. No speaker may yield his or her time to any other person. Generally, substitutions of speakers will not be allowed.
Thank you, Ms. Garrick. William Dishman, you're up first. I like your email address, bio guy.
Good evening, Superintendent Beeman and members of the school board. I'm coming to you this evening speaking as an individual. We have a meaningful opportunity tonight to reinforce the collaborative partnership between the board and dedicated instructional personnel who serve our students every day. During this recent season, there's been widespread encouragement from the board and other members to provide non-recurring bonuses to recognize the extraordinary efforts of our workforce. However, when the collective bargaining team brought this forward, they encountered a challenging funding structure. Rather than finding an open avenue to discuss these potential bonuses, the team was met with a restrictive allocation of local funds tied to a single pot of money. This funding approach forced a difficult dynamic requiring representatives to choose between standard recurring adjustments to the entire workforce or reluctantly diverting some of those same dollars to secure non-recurring bonuses for specific groups, setting up a model that is inadvertently creating friction between different groups of instructional staff, making it deeply challenging to maintain the unified, supportive culture our school needs. This situation is further complicated by the rigid statutory requirements established by the state legislature regarding teacher salary increase allocation. This strict mandate governing TSIA dollars ties the hands of both the district and the association, severely limiting flexibility at the bargaining table. Under these restrictions, out of the 3,884 eligible employees, only 1,710 qualify for state-restricted TSIA funds, leaving a majority, 174 instructional staff members completely reliant on locally bargained base salary adjustments. The impact is combined with state and local constraints, falls most heavily on our veteran educators. For approximately 384 teachers with over a decade of service who are being excluded from the highly effective rating, translates to a recurring adjustment of $452.50, while all of this has soaring employee benefit costs. We know that the HRA plan is going up $5, the Local Plus $45, and the OAP plan by $75 per paycheck. For these educators, this contract does not represent a net gain, but a functional pay cut. I gently but clearly ask the board to look beyond the limitations of the current funding approach and consider additional creative ways to support our staff. Specifically, I urge you to make a more meaningful district contribution to the health insurance premiums and overall compensation, especially to these 384 individuals who qualify for little or no supplemental increase beyond the standard performance pay. Let us work together to ensure our compensation model protects the value and sustains every educator in Seminole County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dishman. Nina Sandberg.
I'm Nina Sandberg. I have questions about your consent agenda. First, why can't we get transparent, open, honest, easily available explanations of all the policies you're adopting? All you give us is a number and a title, but you do not clearly explain to us what you are actually doing. There is a lack of transparency. Also, we should be told exactly how every school board member voted on every single policy item, along with having the decision properly explained to us. Regarding policy 1139, what kind of educator misconduct are you addressing? Have you addressed the problem of retaliation yet? we have been asking you to address that problem for years. With regards to policy 1211, we watched the school board itself retaliate against a low-level employee at a school board meeting several months ago. Are you protecting whistleblowers, or are you continuing to throw them under the bus? What about whistleblower parents and/or students? Are you protecting them? What exactly is your new policy regarding parent and family involvement, or your policy regarding parents' rights to know? What is policy 2266 about? Will girls still be protected against being forced to compete against boys in sports? What is policy 2340 about? Did you fix the problem of banning all out-of-state field trips yet? You were supposed to fix that problem several months ago. You have educator misconduct and whistleblower protection on the agenda multiple times. Are you doing anything to fix discrimination, retaliation against students with disabilities and their parents? You have staff discipline on the list. Will staff members who engage in discrimination, retaliation, targeting, bullying, harassment, devaluation, and other malicious behaviors be disciplined finally? You have mandatory reporting of misconduct on this list. The action of you suing an 8-year-old disabled child to prevent him from getting his medical accommodations at school was misconduct. Every single employee who participated in that is guilty of misconduct. The employees who retaliated against the child's parents are also guilty of misconduct. The taxpayer money that was used to sue this handicapped child was a gross misuse of taxpayer monies. We need to know exactly how much money you spent on lawfare against this handicapped child, as this was a gross misappropriation of funds, and it also constituted gross employee misconduct. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sandberg. That's it for public comments. It's now time for board items for discussion. Member Kraus, you're up first.
Thank you. Well, it's been a minute since we've updated. So I had the Orlando Science Center board meeting was held virtually this year. They were getting ready to open the new planetarium, which is now open. I urge you all to go check it out. It's amazing. You'll feel like you're in space. I also participated in the Value Adjustment Board. It was their reorganization meeting. And the new chair of that is Commissioner Lee Constantine. So we got that all kicked off. And I'll save my other updates for the next public comment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Member Davis?
I can't wait for the school year to start. I know a lot of the parents out there are eager to send their kids back to school. I have 2 granddaughters here in Seminole County. One is going into 7th grade, the other one is 3rd grade, and they're actually excited about going back. I remember when I was younger, I loved school every year. I just loved it, even though I did love the summers as well. But it is a way for our students and our parents, to have a regular systematic schedule again. And a lot of times that really helps with student learning, it helps with discipline, it helps with security when you get back into that regular schedule. So I'm hoping that you are all excited for that. We have one more full week next week, and then everyone's back. Just remember that you should utilize the Seminole County's school district website for lots of information about transportation, about registering for your school lunch numbers and all of that sort of stuff. So get on that website and do a little bit of exploring. I hope we have a great year.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Ms. Sanchez?
First on, I just want to make sure that under our policies, this is for Ms. Cole-Palmer, is it listed to click where they can click on all the policies that have been updated due to the state laws?
That is my understanding. When our board clerk bills the book, that does make it accessible to click and see the actual policies with the red line changes.
Okay, so if anybody has any issues with that, then they could reach out to you?
absolutely reach out to me. The agenda packet is online
Ms.
with all the
Sandberg?
strike-through versions of all of the policies.
Okay, I know that you were mentioning some are repeat, some of them are repetitive due to, for each, some may be for instructional, non-instructional, so on and so forth. So if you could reach out to Ms. Moramis, that would be great. I've had a very busy summer. It has probably been the busiest summer I've ever had, school-related wise, in the past, I think, going on my 38th year in education, with so many changes, new principals to architect plans to construction interviews for our schools. All great things have been going on, but also things that have been really time-consuming, and just listening to others and seeing what's going on. I know that I'm just as frustrated as so many others with the salaries and everything. I want people to realize we're number 50th in the United States in salaries. That is going to take something that we all need to do together. A couple of us do a lot with Tallahassee and our legislators, and we really do speak up, and there's a lot of great parents that help, and as well as students and employees. But it really does take the initiative of all of us working together, because a lot of our funding comes from there. And I think I really wanted to try to be transparent on this purpose of the fact that some people are like, well, why isn't this school getting renovated? Or why doesn't we have money for this school to get this? We get funded by the state, and when the state says that we have funding and they give us approval for a school for XYZ, then we then can go out for bid and go from there. And then we are given XYZ in dollars and how much money we have from the money that we have from our money that when you were talking earlier. It's a huge, huge undertaking. So everybody that is involved in the process, I commend you for everything you do for that. I also want to just thank everybody for an event yesterday, or was it yesterday? State of Our Schools? Oh my gosh.
Yesterday.
State of Our Schools was yesterday. We had a sellout crowd in the chamber event. It was really nice. One area that I know that wasn't touched on, but I hope a lot of people realize, we have over 52 CTE programs and what's called What's Your E? Your E pathways, your employment, enlistment, or education. This way we can make sure that if you want to go the route of becoming a welder, you can be a welder. We have aviation, we have our own plane, helicopter, aviation mechanics. There are so many amazing programs that we have to offer. And I will say that the departments here and our heads of those departments really have done an amazing job with our business partners to help these programs come to fruition. So we're really lucky on that. The other thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned that, and I know this is just a general comment, and this goes along with Chair Dellinger's speech about treating others with kindness. Until you walk in someone else's shoes, you don't know what they're going through. And that goes for our children and every day that they have, and employees. And to stop and think and treat others as you would want to be treated yourself. Some of the nasty, I don't go on social media right now. I just can't take it. If people have that much energy to focus on the negative things, then I'm sad for them because they're not spending time with their family. They're spending too much time on the computer. And that's something that I brought up today in our legislative priorities, that I think our students are on computers too much. I would like to see the state buckle down on that as well. Our students should not be, as an elementary school teacher, I don't think they need to be on computers all day long, or even a portion of the day. There's just way too much of that. But I wanted to mention that the Holocaust Resource Education Center, we are open to the public. Please bring your families there. It's free. If you want to take field trips, teachers, we bring in-house field trips to you as well. It's one of the boards I sit on that's not part of my normal board. And I really think that, you know, if you don't want history to repeat itself, you need to learn about it. So it's extremely important to be there. I also wanted to mention that Dress for Success, that our students, student conduct and code book, and I blame myself for not really going into depth with this a little bit more, it's kind of, I want it to be consistent, but make sure your children and our teachers feel that they have that ability to make sure that the kids are dressed properly. Pajamas, I know I'm probably the only one that feels that they're not acceptable, or slippers, but they're not, it's a safety hazard. I think we need to make sure that we hold our kids to the same standards that we expect them to be addressed to the same way. And the same thing about showing up for work. We expect them to show up for school. And our legislative priorities, I think that we all talked a lot about all that, and I'll share some of that at the end. But I just wanted to say that we're going to have a great school year, and I appreciate everybody that dedicates so much to our schools. Thank you.
Vice Chair Garrick.
Well, Dr. Gard Harold and I got to virtually attend the United Way Uplifted Committee meeting, and it was refreshing to see that many of the initiatives that we have in Seminole County are being added for other counties. So I'm proud to be a trailblazer, and also glad that some other districts around us are also getting an extra boost. Looking forward to the grand opening of the community school at Midway Elementary on the first day of school. So I'm really excited about that. Westside Community Center meeting, I was engaged here at the League of Women Voter Forum, so did not attend that meeting. However, I want to say thank you so much to all of the teams from the district that went and made sure that they provided resources so that all of our families from that region understand their opportunities. They've been signed up, I know many of them now, for Red Apple Dining. They've had free and reduced lunch applications. They understand that process, if that's something that their family qualifies for. And so thank you one and all for being there. Also, we had, you went to the PTA Teacher of the Year. So we had lots of people all over busy last Thursday night. I also had the opportunity to be here for the VPK orientation. Thank you very much, Assistant Superintendent Lambert. We still have two packed sessions. We still have a few spots open at the Early Learning Center, and I know that we have got VPK teachers eager to get those littles in and start some fresh new programs. So if you have any questions, please make sure to look onto our website, because there are still a few spots, correct? Perfect. And I think that was it as far as committees. I did want to ask also Ms. Maramis, the full board book is available in a digital form online, so anybody from the public can read all the contracts as well as policies, and for full transparency and accountability.
That is correct. We also have loaded the last 7 years of board agendas and minutes on that same site. So there's links on our website for that, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so I first would like to congratulate Ms. Beeman and her team. I know it was a team effort for the outstanding presentation at the Seminole Chamber State of Our Schools yesterday. I thought it was just really wonderful. Very much a positive thing with so many chamber members there, hundreds of people there, and I'm really engaged in learning about what's happening in our schools and really proud of our schools. Some of the information you all saw tonight in the focused on achievement, but also the unveiling of our new strategic plan, which was a parent, teacher, staff, community effort. And so if you haven't taken the time to look at it, it's available. I particularly enjoyed the story shared by the students. You know, how they would talk to their younger self if only they knew. And I just think it really captures, you know, what we're about, the kids. So their stories are the stories of thousands of our students, and they truly do make us proud. So if you haven't had a chance to review the 1,645 pages In the agenda for this meeting, there are a couple of items I would like to point out. First, there are numerous policies, including the Student Progression Plan, the Student Conduct and Discipline Code, the Discipline Procedures Manual, and the 504 Manual for final adoption. It is very important to understand that all of these policies and procedures have been carefully reviewed by staff and school board members throughout the adoption process over the course of months. They have been reviewed at workshops and individually as well to follow statute and rule. Also in this book is the Equal Education Opportunity Report required by Florida statute to be submitted to the Office of Equal Education Opportunity every year. There are budget amendments and financial statements that are required by Florida statute and rule, and they're in every board book every month. Recently, we have received some questions about auditing school board, the budget and finances, and so I would like to point out it would take quite a bit of time to outline all of the auditing procedures. However, when I asked this afternoon for a list of them, I was given this list of 22. So if anyone has questions about them, I'd be happy to answer them. The 26-27 Comprehensive Evidence-Based Reading Plan, many pages, very comprehensive, is required by Florida rule to be submitted to the Florida Department of Education by August 1 of every year, and it's included in the agenda. That's Dr. Cody's project. This plan outlines in great detail, how the district is guiding, supporting, and providing reading instruction and intervention for all students. This is an accountability measure that is required of all public schools. It is not a requirement for homeschool or private schools. We are on top of reading, and it is very clearly outlined in that comprehensive plan. So that's it for my agenda item comments today.
Chair, could I add one
Yes.
thing? I've also heard comments regarding the state of our schools luncheon, that it was taxpayer funded. I just wanted to clarify that there were business partners and sponsors, and the Chamber of Commerce and our foundation came together.
Right.
Tickets were sold. If you're not a chamber member, you could buy lunch, but it was not, we did not use your taxpayer dollars to
Right.
pay for the lunch.
Absolutely
I just
not.
wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Is there a superintendent? Do you have a recommendation?
Yes, that the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation regarding student discipline hearings?
Yes, that the School Board of Seminole County approve the student disciplinary recommendations from June 8th, 2026.
Thank you. We need to vote on that one. Right. All right, so I need a motion for that one.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Sanchez. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Garrick. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Superintendent, let's see. You have your superintendent, you have your report, yes.
Yes, most of the report is read-only and is included in the book, and I would ask Captain Shaw to come to the front to provide the quarterly update.
Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Beeman, Chair Dillinger, Vice Chair Garrick, members of the board. Before I report out, I just want to congratulate you all on once again being a A-rated, academically high-performing district. I just think that's for the, what's it, 11th straight year?
Oh, no.
It's been a lot more.
Like
but-
20 plus
but congratulations.
years. Yes.
Congratulations. Per Florida Statute 1006.7, I'm required quarterly to report out our Florida Department of Education findings as far as it relates to inspections. Quarterly 4 provided 6 inspections, 3 were re-inspections, all for documentation that was corrected on spot. The other 3 were perfect. So that concludes my report, and I'll thank you all.
Thank you very much.
And Chair, if I might, I'd like to thank Captain and Sheriff Lima and every one of our law enforcement agencies. You'll see in the book all of our different contracts, and you'll see that our law enforcement partners really worked with us
Sure do.
during times of budget tightness. And we're really fortunate in Seminole County. I just want everyone to know, I know Captain Shaw has been working with all of our partners to make sure that we could put those agreements before you. And we have great partnerships in Seminole County, and we can all sleep better at night because of them.
Thank you very much. So it's time for board comments with other updates. Member Krause?
Thank you. All of us attended the Superintendent's Leadership Conference and were treated to a presentation by Dr. Johnson, who is should be a famous geographer. But really enjoyed listening to him and explaining the dynamics of Seminole County. We all participated in summer school graduation, the last hurrah for the class of 2026. And in honor of the America's 250th birthday today, we planted a Liberty tree. I'm sorry if you're going to talk about that, Dr. Dellinger, but that was your making. Thank you to Dr. Pisani for serving on that committee, the America 250th. And then finally, we all attended, I think all of us went to the Unity Youth Association. They held their summer showcase. Amazing, amazing kiddos. It is sort of a summer camp, I guess, that is, it works on resilience for our kids in elementary up to middle. So they were exposed to resilience opportunities and training and practice, and the Peace and Justice Institute supported that event as well. It was just, their little performance was adorable. So thank you. And welcome back to school. Go shopping. It's almost sales tax.
That's right.
Sales tax free.
Member Davis?
Thank you, Chair. The July meeting of the Children's Cabinet focused on July, the month of July being National Make a Difference to Children Month. This was started in 2006 by a child advocate, Kim Ratz, and it was designed to highlight the importance of supporting, mentoring, and guiding our youth. In doing that, the goal is to inspire parents, teachers, communities to support children's well-being and their futures. It focuses on mentorship, early childhood development, and basic needs. To participate with our students, it was encouraged to mentor a child or volunteer with a local youth program, practice daily kindness, or read education books with kids. You can support organizations that are dedicated to child abuse, prevention, or family stability. One of the things that I was very disappointed to find out is our Seminole County Community Assistance Program is no longer due to lack of funding. On June 15th, the Rent and Utilities Program closed. Your Deposit Assistance Program closed January 29th, and the Dental Assistance Program closed on 6/26. So I want to remind you that just because our county government was losing funding to support a lot of these programs, our school system still does so much for our students. And if any of you have financial difficulties or mental health issues, you can still call a counselor in your school. Have your child stop by and talk to a counselor in order to find additional resources. Don't forget the United Way always has our 211 phone call. It's not just United Way programs, it's programs throughout the community that may help with these types of things. And, you know, don't feel like you can't reach out for resources. We all struggle every once in a while, no matter what your financial level is, no matter what you believe in, no matter what neighborhood you come from. Sometimes we all need a helping hand. So just make sure to reach out when you need to. Lastly, I wanted to remind you that every child is special and their needs are individual. They are not a group. We have a variety of students here in our district. We have gifted students that sometimes are in advanced classes and advanced programs, special ESC classes. We have kids with learning disabilities. We have kids with physical disabilities. We have kids that are just struggling. And then we have our regular kids that sometimes get forgotten. And I want to remind you that all kids, not just this level, not just this level, we can all encourage all of our children to do better. We can all encourage them to find happiness in their life and get whatever support they need emotionally, mentally, nutritionally. All of these things we cannot forget because I did encounter a few students who said they don't ever talk to anyone in school. They're getting A's and B's, they don't need any help with anything, but they're not the happiest kids either. So pay attention to this group of kids as well, because Seminole County has one of the biggest variety of students that I've seen, and each one, again, needs their own individual attention. Just one last reminder, be nice even when we disagree, and let us know if you need anything.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. Member Sanchez?
Along that line where you're talking about some students feeling left out, right before COVID, we had started a forum that we had a variety of students. It was something that I had asked Dr. Griffin to start years ago, and we picked a variety of students, or should I say the administration at each school picked kids from the high school level, and they had an opportunity to share. At the end of the day, I am happy to say that Superintendent Beeman has embraced that and is bringing that back, and that is going to be part of the platform where not just in middle school, high school, but it's going to middle schools as well. Am I correct? So I appreciate that. That's huge. So we're getting to hear other voices. We want everyone to be able to have somebody to talk to. So today when we were on our phone with our lobbyist and we spoke to her about our preliminary layout of things that we possibly want to talk about for our legislative priorities, not saying all these are going to make it because we're just brainstorming still. We did talk about, I mentioned mental health as I've been a part of a program called Allie's Hope since it started, and we are able to provide extra mental health support to 3 schools right now. But I don't think that should be part of the layout for our administrators to have to try to figure out how to allocate for, because our counselors can't be guidance counselors anymore. There's so many other jobs that they do. So we're having to pivot, and we're trying to learn all of this together. So I had said maybe we can check in to see if the state would give us funding for mental health support for our students. It's something important, not just them, but like Member Davis said, our employees. Our insurance doesn't just cover, even if you're not on our plan, you still get mental health support for yourself and your family. And that's still a part of our system. You don't even have to have our insurance to do that. So that's something that I want people to remember, that we are here for you, and we do understand everybody goes through difficult times. And I wanted to mention a thank you to Captain Shaw today when we were doing our NEST, our new educator support team, and it was packed in there. And Captain Shaw spoke about our new canine dog that was here today. This is our 4th dog, and hopefully, eventually, we'll have a dog in every municipality. Excuse me. They are pricey, but I think they're well worth it to have these weapon-trained dogs in our schools. And realize that the funding that we're getting from the state, if you guys could do a deep dive with us and see, instead of just seeing or hearing from one person, or you see someone that's blowing up on social media, don't just take what they're saying for that it's the end all. Ask someone and find out if it's really true, or maybe you're just getting a bits and pieces of it, but not the whole picture of it. And remember, our children are not just test scores. It's a well-rounded child. I was not a test taker growing up. I still am not a test taker. And I've had to adapt, and I became a teacher because I was a struggling student. And everyone learns differently. And that's why it's so important that we have hands-on activities, and that we don't teach to a test, and that we don't sit there on a computer all day long. And that we're there building relationships with our kids. And that goes not just for our teachers and our wonderful employees, but all of our families too. And then I just wanted to mention that I did get to go to the Teacher of the Year. We got to celebrate Bailey, so that was fascinating, from Geneva Elementary School. And we had a great time celebrating all her successes. And then the zoo retreat, we actually have I sit on the Central Florida Zoo, and we went to our indigo snake exhibit, which is actually in Eustis or Sorrento. And it's 25 acres. It's owned by Central Florida Zoo. And we're the only ones in the world that have, I didn't realize that they're going extinct, that has a place to help rehab our indigo snakes and bring them back from the panhandle and bring them here, and then their natural habitat and what we have done and created. And then we release them back into the wild. So it was fascinating going on the retreat. Now, it's not open to the public, but we are bringing these reptiles back in to help into our society and into our world. And then I just wanted to wish all of our new teachers, as well as everyone, a wonderful year. And if you have any extra BOGO items for food pantries and all the wonderful school churches or events that are going on right now that are providing back to school events, go to them, and there's free haircuts, there's clothing, there's school supplies. Please help out and help our friends. Thank you so much.
Vice Chair Garrick.
There was no foundation for Seminole County Public Schools summer July meeting. However, we did get to have the grand ribbon cutting for the new bus. So we are so excited, especially grateful to the foundation. Jean Van Smith leads the foundation. We've got our chair, Holton Mills, here with us. And for those of you who don't know about the Foundation for Seminole County Public Schools, it is the nonprofit entity that helps fill the gaps. And as we've heard over and over again, in public school funding and in our community, there are many. So there's Tools for Schools, which is getting a great workout right now. It's a store right by the 7-Eleven on 46. And teachers from Title I schools can go, I believe, once a month, but you can find out all of the information from the foundation website. Right now, there is a big drive for school supplies. So if you have a business and you'd like to get involved and make sure that our students and our teachers are set for the year, please go ahead and look up the foundation website and help us out. And now that we've got this great big utility mobile supply store, we can bring supplies to the school. So we no longer have to send somebody from the school as a designated shopper. So that'll be a great relief. As my colleagues had mentioned, 1 year's growth in 1 year's time looks different for every student in our district. And so I wanted to share a story. I thought it was incredibly appropriate since tonight we got to congratulate the new Director of Student Support Services, that we talk about one of the hallmark programs from Student Support Services. And this was a Facebook post. If you didn't get a chance to read it, I've read it several times, and each time I am thinking, is this where I want to be? This reminds me, absolutely, this is the most important work I've ever done and absolutely where I want to be. As we wrap up another incredible summer of career and technical education programming and work-based learning experiences, we simply want to say thank you. This summer, hundreds of our students gained valuable hands-on experiences, explored career pathways, built new friendships, and developed skills that will last a lifetime. A heartfelt thank you to Seminole County Public Schools, Florida Vocational Rehabilitation, our outstanding businesses and community partners, school board members, school administrators, teachers, exceptional student education staff, career and technical education teachers, school social workers, job coaches, support staff, and families. Your collaboration and commitment make opportunities like this possible. It truly takes a village. One of the most rewarding moments of this week during student check pickup was hearing parents ask, "When is the next opportunity?" Those words remind us why this work matters. Thank you to everyone who invested in our students this summer. Your time, encouragement, and partnerships are helping shape brighter futures. Our after-school programming will begin after Labor Day, so stay tuned for more exciting opportunities. And until then, thank you for making this an unforgettable summer.
I ran into some of those kids at my neighborhood Publix, as a matter of fact, and the teacher working with them actually was in my 10th grade world history class like 100 years ago. But they were just fantastic kids. So I was able to stop by the New Educators Conference this morning, and it's always a great way to kick off the school year, the opportunity to meet new faces and let these folks know, that we value their talents and welcome them to SCPS. I also would like to take this opportunity to commend the work of the evaluation committees for architect and engineer and construction manager at risk for Millwee Middle School's renovation, organized and led by John Moramis, who is not here, he left already, and also from operations, and Amanda Zarco from purchasing. This is a big deal, and they did an amazing amount of work, and I just want to commend them for their excellent work. The Council of Local Governments and Mayors and Managers did not meet in July, so I have nothing to report from them. It will resume in August. I did accompany the superintendent to the state board meeting last week, and we were there to learn about the governor's appointment of our new commissioner, and he was unanimously approved by the state board, and that's Dr. Henry Mack. He'll be coming as our new commissioner, I'm guessing, starting now, So that was a very interesting meeting to hear about his qualifications and what he brings to that position. That's all I have for now. It is time for public comments for non-agenda items, and we have a number of forms. So first up, Mr. Cromer, you're up first.
Hello again, board members. I know that we already talked a little bit about our teacher raises, but I just want to talk about me as an individual for a moment. My raise this year is $256 for the entire year. With our $100 insurance raise, that means I will be getting $156 a year, or about $5.61 per paycheck, rounding up. That penny's important. This is a equivalent of a 0.37% raise. With inflation in Central Florida ranging between 3.4 to 2.4%, this means that I will have an effective pay cut of 3% this year. Now, I know that this year there were a lot of restrictions on the state money, and so obviously the focus this year was on our teachers with 10, 20, and 30 years of experience. However, even for teachers with 10 years of experience or more, a 19-year veteran teacher who got the highly effective raise, if we take away that $100, let's just say that they're going with the lowest insurance that actually allows them to see their doctor, they will still be getting a 2.7% raise, meaning even a 19-year veteran closer to retirement than their first year of teaching is still getting an effective pay cut this year. And I understand it's just 1 year, but this is my 5th year teaching as a 5th year veteran. I have never received a raise that has matched inflation. Every year I've been poorer than the year before, ever since I started teaching at the age of 21 years old. And unfortunately, especially with the cuts, because as we've seen with our new tentative budget, there's going to be another $11 million cut for instructional personnel salaries, whether that's going to come a little bit from our reducing of positions, or it's going to mean that we're going to get another effective raise this year. We have very little job security because we're a yearly contract and we're losing positions. My department alone has gone from 4 teachers to 2 teachers over the past 3 years. We have not received those raises, so we don't have a guarantee we're going to come back next year. We can't get a guarantee we're going to get those raises. And I just hope that as you're looking forward to the actual budget being proposed next year, that you try to scrimp and save those pennies. I know that we're doing that already, but just to try to budget a little bit more, because then realistically, when we go to bargain next year, if the money isn't being allocated this upcoming month, it's not going to be there for next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Comer. Elizabeth Kelsey, and after Elizabeth, Adrian Roop.
Why is this big? Good evening, Superintendent and board members. My name is Liz Kelsey, and I'm entering my 20th year with SCPS, and I'm an instructional coach and the IB MIP coordinator at Millennium Middle School. Tonight I'm here because I'm concerned that a significant group of certified instructional leaders who have a direct daily impact on our students, our schools, and our district have been unintentionally left behind. Seminole County is proud to have the largest number of teachers who are trained instructional coaches. I was fortunate to graduate from Seminole County's coaching academy many years ago, and it took me over a decade before I made the decision to leave my classroom and become an instructional coach. Why? Because I love teaching. But I knew that I could support and make a even greater impact by supporting teachers. When I became an instructional coach, I didn't leave education. I expanded my classroom. Today, instead of teaching 150 students, I support more than 70 teachers and over 1,000 students. Through the educators I serve, I lead professional learning, coach teachers, support curriculum and assessment, work with intervention groups, and help implement school-wide initiatives that improve teaching and learning for every student on my campus. As an instructional leader, I am part of a team that builds success for all students. I am one part of the team that helped my school grow in all areas of the FAST and raise our school grade from a C to a B for the first time in 8 years. These results didn't happen by accident. They happened because classroom teachers were supported by experienced instructional professionals. This work extends far beyond the school day. Instructional coaches regularly participate in curriculum nights, family engagement events, professional development, testing support, and countless school activities. Yet despite the increase in leadership responsibilities, there is no local supplement or stipend that recognizes the role of an instructional coach. We invest district time, money, and resources into preparing outstanding educators to become instructional coaches because we know they improve teacher effectiveness and student achievement. We place literacy and math coaches in every school because we know instructional leadership matters. Yet, we're asking them to take a pay cut when they step into that role this year. If instructional coaching is important enough to invest in for over a decade, shouldn't it be important enough to invest in retaining these same instructional coaches? I'm asking you to think about that in the budgets for next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Adrian?
Good evening, Superintendent and board members. My name is Dr. Addie Roop, and this is my 17th year in Seminole County Public Schools. Many of you know me, not just as a literacy coach, but as a former classroom teacher, an instructional leader, and someone who has proudly dedicated my career to helping both students and teachers succeed. Tonight, I'd like to speak about how we value instructional leadership. For well over a decade, Seminole County has intentionally invested in building an instructional coaching model. This district understands that one of the fastest ways to improve student achievement is to strengthen classroom instruction. Instructional coaches are not hired because they want to leave the classroom. We're hired because we were successful in the classroom. We're required to have years of successful teaching experience, maintain our teaching certifications, and continue to serve as instructional personnel. Each day, we model lessons, support teachers, analyze student data, facilitate professional learning, implement district initiatives, and help teachers refine their practice so that students achieve more. This past year, Millennium Middle School moved from a C to a B school, and more than half of our students demonstrated learning gains. This was not the work of one person in a classroom. It was the work of many people in the school. That brings me to my concern. Recent compensation decisions have highlighted what I believe is a gap in how instructional coaches are recognized. We remain on the teacher salary schedule, yet for some compensation initiatives, we are no longer treated as classroom teachers. At the same time, we do not receive any additional stipends or supplements provided to other unique specialized positions of leadership in our county. As a result, instructional coaches seem to fall into a space where we're recognized as neither classroom teachers nor specialized instructional leaders. So tonight, my request is simple. I ask the board to begin a conversation about how we recognize and retain instructional coaches, whether that means revisiting future compensation initiatives or exploring additional compensation that reflects the unique responsibilities of these positions. I simply ask that we ensure instructional coaches are not left in this gap. Thank you.
Thank you. Scott Yebby, I may have said that wrong, possibly. Scott here tonight? Y-E-B-B-E? Yebba. Okay. Well, I'll remember it now. Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't get it right. All right.
Good evening. My name is Scott Yebba. My family and I own Sports Time summer camps. We've been leasing for 15 years at Indian Trails Middle School and 8 years at Markham Woods Middle School. We have paid close to $700,000 in rental fees to this district. I'm here to discuss school leasing. For years, rental fees were capped at daily and weekly maximums. Renters paid fair, predictable rates. Those caps vanished in 2018. That's when the district began using the Facilitron leasing company. We had to pay hourly usage rates and with no discounts or caps in place anymore. For a while, our host schools cushioned the blow. They used discretion to work with long-term leasing partners like Sports Time, but that discretion disappeared this year as the district centralized control with strict facility time limits and rigid scheduling. As a decades-long partner, we were treated more like strangers. This year, we paid $40,000 in rent for each school. We were asked to pay an additional $5,000 for each school midway through the lease. Under the hourly rate only structure, these schools would cost us $90,000 each to rent. What do we get for $90,000? It's a gym, a classroom, and a field. Our camp faces a decision for next summer. Cutting hours and space to the bare minimum would bring our rent down to only $55,000 per location, or we're going to be forced to find new facilities outside of the school district. I use current rental prices that you have published now, and I used the pre-existing cap structures, and our rent would be approximately $38,000 per school, which I find ironic since we paid $40,000 anyway. To compare costs, this year, at DeLand Middle School, we paid $29,000 for unlimited use for their facility, and I have 3 other facilities we've used over the past few years and paid $25,000 per location to provide our summer camp. What we ask for is 2 things. First, restore daily and weekly rent caps and discounted hourly
Excuse me,
rates.
Mr.
And I can
Yaba.
get to my second. Thank you.
Thank you. Jacob Falk.
Good evening. My name is Jacob Falk, and I am here tonight as an educator of 26 years experience in Seminole County in elementary and middle school. I grew up going to various camps and eventually helping coach at WSBL summer camps for many years. I have been working for Sports Time now for 2 years, 1 year as a coach, and this year was truly blessed to be an assistant director helping run our camp at Indian Trails. This summer has been a tremendous opportunity for me for the community to provide faith-based sports camp that many families and kids have grown up making great memories while attending. I understand facilities cost to run and be utilized, but I would kindly ask to consider reevaluating your increases in rates for us in our facilities so that camps like Sports Time can continue to use their facilities, providing a great summer experience to our youth in the area around us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Falk. Cynthia Davis. And after Ms. Davis is Ricardo Montalvo.
Good evening. My name is Cynthia Davis, and I'm here tonight as a parent and educator of 24 years experience in early childhood education and the director of Sports Time Summer Camp. This summer, Sports Time served well over 100 children each week. Every day, I watched children build confidence, form friendships, learn teamwork, and stay active in a safe, positive environment. As a parent, I've watched Sports Time make a tremendous impact on my own son. It has helped build his confidence, taught him leadership and teamwork, and surrounded him with coaches who truly care about him. Every morning, he was excited to come to camp, and every afternoon, he came home with stories, memories, and a smile on his face. As a mom, that's everything you could hope for. As an educator, one of my favorite parts of every summer is seeing so many of my former students walk through the doors of Sports Time. I get to watch children I've taught over the years continue to grow, build friendships, and develop into a confident young leaders that is incredibly rewarding. This summer, we faced several challenges because of facility restrictions. Without access to the cafeteria, our campers had to eat their morning and afternoon snacks outside in the Florida heat. Limited classroom access during the day and losing the gym after 4 p.m. made it difficult to safely accommodate more than 100 children during our frequent afternoon rainstorms. Even with those challenges, our staff remained committed to giving every child the best summer possible. I understand that there are costs associated with maintaining school facilities and appreciate that responsibility. My hope is that the program like Sports Time can continue to partner with Seminole County Public Schools to serve our families. If rental costs increases, we may be forced to relocate or significantly increase tuition, making this opportunity less accessible for many working families. Tonight, I am not speaking as a director of Sports Time. I'm speaking as a mother whose own son has been impacted by this program, as an educator who has dedicated her career in helping children grow, and as someone who has witnessed firsthand the difference Sports Time makes in the lives of so many children. We're not asking for special treatment.
Thank you. Mr. Montalvo? And after Mr. Montalvo is Caleb Smith.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to speak to you tonight. My name is Ricardo Montalvo, and I'm here to speak about the Sports Time Camp. I'd like to share a brief story about our family and our experiences over the years with the Sports Time family. We've been part of the camp almost 10 years. And our two sons have both attended the camps. Our oldest son has now become a volunteer, excuse me, after being a camper, over previous years. Our family really hopes that SCPS and Sports Time can continue to work together, and Sports Time can have a place to host their camps. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
Evening, ladies. I know I've attended SCPS schools my whole life. I'm not gonna act like I got a whole great comprehension on the funding or the finances and whatnot, but I do have a good comprehension of my position working for Sports Time. If you would have asked me if you would have told me when I was 9 years old that I would have still been working for this place, I would have called you crazy. From camper to volunteer to coach, you really start to see what the camp truly is, what it's about. I remember Kelly Davis talking about a very diverse variety with the SCPS district, and you can really see that within the camp as well. The different backgrounds coming together, communicating, connecting, it's truly special. And I remember being in the camp myself. I still talk to people that I met at the camp to this day. To this day, I still talk to these people. And seeing the people just they'll meet each other talk to each other for a few minutes and they're already best friends. It's crazy. And I have seen multiple times where I've asked kids, are you coming back this week? They say, oh no. I'm like, why not? Oh, my parents don't have enough money. I'm like, oh yeah, this place does cost money. I don't really think about that. Now, Tuesdays we got Kona Ice. If the kids don't have Kona Ice, I give them money because I want them to be included. I want all these kids to have a fair chance, a fair opportunity, because I just want them to experience something that I've experienced, and it sticks with you. The the impact, it's subtle, but it's big. You know, I've had a kid tell their mom told me, oh, they said that you're their favorite coach. I'm like, me? I was like, hey, thank you, appreciate that. You know, I would never thought a kid would have said that to me, but they did, and I couldn't help but smile like all the way back to the building because I took pride in that, and it was something that I was really proud of. And I just want all these kids to just have that experience that I had. You know, I don't want that experience to go away for all these new faces, all these new kids, because it's really, really great seeing all these kids happy. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Raquel Molina. Following Raquel, Ms. Sandberg.
Good evening. I am Raquel Molina. I submitted questions for the School Board Candidates Forum on July 23rd, but unfortunately my questions were not asked. So therefore, I would like to ask 3 of the questions publicly tonight. I believe these are important issues that deserve answers, especially from anyone seeking to serve students and families in Seminole County. How will you hold administrators accountable for failing to report abuse and retaliating against those who speak up? How will you ensure investigations are independent, transparent, and fair? Will you be open to attending an IEP meeting at parents' request to better understand the challenges families face in SCPS? I speak today not only for my family, but for other parents who may be afraid to speak up. Every child deserves to be heard, protected, and treated with dignity and not treated like a second-class citizen, just like how my daughter, Emily, was treated in Lyman High School. I hope our future school board leaders will listen to families and have the courage to make meaningful changes. All students deserve a school system where parents can advocate without fear, concerns are taken seriously, and accountability matters. Unfortunately, this is not occurring in SCPS, and it's depressing. Last but not least, I hope SCPS leadership and board members will practice what they preach by listening and taking concerns seriously and holding themselves accountable. Is this even possible in SCPS?
Thank you, Ms. Molina. Ms.
Thank you.
Sandberg.
I'll send it via email.
I'm Nina Sandberg, and I guess I'm going to wing it right now. I sent both of my kids to Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. I did the scouting thing. I watched SCPS lock the Girl Scouts, my child's Girl Scout troop, out of the schools. I watched it. And then I watched SCPS lock Boy Scouts out of the schools. I sent my kids to sports time. I sent both of them to sports time. And now I'm joining in with the sports time people because, you know, that's an affordable camp that parents could actually afford. The average parent can somehow figure out a way to send their kid to at least a week of that camp. And it is so important for the kids to have access to affordable day camps. This is just so important. And I cannot believe that SCPS is so greedy that you would push the sports time people out. I have nothing but good things to say about them. I am a parent who used sports time, and you know, I used sports time at Indian Trails Middle School, and I thought it was, you know, a good program. I support the program. I think you need to do everything you can to continue it. It is so important that you support all of these programs that give kids something to do other than be on computers or cell phones, because you're complaining they're on computers and cell phones instead of out doing something. They need to have access. This year, you gave no access to schools at all, hardly, for anything for the summer. It was just pathetic. These kids need these summer programs. It's so important, and you need to have a way to do it. You need to work with these people. I support sports time.
Jessica Tillman.
Good evening. My name is Jessica Tillman. I do want to say thank you for discussing screen time. I have mentioned that several times about mental health. It really is important to limit screen time for our kiddos. I know other districts are actually speaking about it. I know that there are districts across the country that have gone back to paper-based learning, and they have seen improvements in mental health. So I do think that this is a great move for our district. I'd also like to say that there was a law passed over 2 years ago about chaplains. They're free, so this is a great possibility for our kids to have somebody to talk to. It's a free program for chaplains. I think it was HB 391. I don't know if that's accurate. I'm pretty sure that's the number. But it is something to look into. It is helpful to have someone to talk to. I do want to say that the state of the schools, it's really exciting to see the reading levels increase. That is what we are here for. We all want to support our kiddos. But we can't support our kiddos if we're not giving our teachers the pay they deserve, if we're not giving our staff members the pay they deserve. You're seeing enrollment decreased year after year. You're seeing a budget decline year after year. You're seeing the 5-year teacher retention. You can't hold on to 5-year teachers. Maybe if you paid them the salary they're worth, maybe they would stick around longer. I'd also like to say that there was a comment that they are seeing more students unenrolled in the district than enrolled this summer. So it doesn't matter the school grades. It doesn't matter how many CTE programs. It doesn't matter the graduation rate. If you're not supporting families and you're pushing them out of the district, special needs kids, regular families are leaving the districts in droves. And it doesn't matter your programs that you offer. If you're not supporting and the families don't trust the district, they're not going to stick around. Talk to the families that have left, find out why they left, and ask them what it would take to get them back. Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent?
I wanted all of the board members to know, because I think there's been a number of emails, but not all board members have been included on those, that Mr. Yeba has filed an appeal under our policy, and so that is being, as far as the rental fees, just a few points of clarification. There's not been an increase in our fees since 2024. So what there is that it depends on the room and the number of things as far as utilities and custodial needs and that sort of thing that is going to be reviewed in the appeal. And so Dr. Singleton is working on that. So we have heard the concerns. It is being reviewed and will be processed as appropriate.
Thank you. Thank you. I also wanted to speak to the teachers that came to speak tonight and the coaches. So you came to provide public comment, and I want to thank you for that. Your comments and suggestions are insightful and very relevant. In fact, I've worked with some of you as coaches. Speaking for myself, and I'm sure this is reflective of all of us, we are aware of the inequities and conflicting priorities with the salary and benefits discussion. This morning, we heard Mr. Bugo speak very passionately and eloquently about professionals, and they're passionate about what they do, and we know that to be true and real. So what I want you to know is that it is my intention to do and advocate for you across the board, both locally and with our legislators. I've spoken before about the funding This is not about enrollment. It's about reducing the level of funding, reducing the money that we allocate for teacher salaries. And so we are going to do what we can as board members to advocate for this, to try to do what we can, because we believe in public education. That's why we're here, and we want to support you. So I just wanted to make that clear, that we are listening and that we do hear, and you are our top priority. So thank you for coming, and I appreciate your advocacy for all of our teachers and all of our employees as well. Thank you. All right, any other comments? All right, thank you. Then this meeting is adjourned. By the way, just in case, August 18th, first opportunity to vote, very important, so I hope all of you will take advantage of it.